Okay, hi guys. So we will now discuss the concepts of average accounts receivable, investment in accounts receivable, and cost of marginal investment in accounts receivable. So ang gagawin natin guys is we will explain those concepts as we slowly progress the discussion of this problem. So the problem is XYZ Corporation currently sells on credit, and their annual sales amount to $2,400,000. The company offers a net 30-day payment terms to its customers. However, some customers take longer to pay, so the average collection period is 45 days. XYZ is considering a new credit policy that will require customers to pay within 30 days, reducing the average collection period to 30 days. The company's variable cost ratio is 60%. Assume 360 days. So ang first na tinatanong sa problem na to is, what is the company's current average accounts receivable? So, to answer number one, dito na papasok yung diniscuss natin before na we can use the turnover ratios to compute, or the age of AR, or the age of inventory, to compute for the ratios and to compute for the missing details. So dito, ang given is current average accounts receivable. So ano ba yung mga given? Given dito, ano ba yung current average collection period? The average collection period is 45 days. It means that on average, it will take customers 45 days before they pay their respective obligations. Tapos, given din dito yung sales. The sales here is $2,400,000. So that's their annual sales. So ano ba yung how do we compute for the average AR? So the first step is, ang gagawin muna natin is to use the average collection period of 45 days to find the accounts receivable turnover. So ang gagawin natin is yung 360 days, i-divide natin siya by 45 days, which is what we presume is the day sales outstanding. So the answer there is our AR turnover, or the accounts receivable turnover, is 8. Kasi it's 360 days divided by the day sales outstanding. So our AR turnover is 8. Tapos yung 8, yun ang gagamitin natin to compute for the average AR. Kasi, take note, alam natin yung annual sales, alam natin yung AR turnover, ang hindi lang natin alam is yung average AR, which is supposed to be the denominator in computing for accounts receivable turnover. So, ang gagawin natin is, to compute for average AR, we will divide $2,400,000 divided by 8. 8 is the accounts receivable turnover. So it means our average accounts receivable at the moment is $300,000. So that is our average AR at the moment. Okay? So that is our current average AR. Okay. So the next step is to compute for the investment in accounts receivable. Okay, I want to clarify. Average accounts receivable and investment in accounts receivable are two different terms. Remember that ha, iba yung average AR sa current sa average AR sa current investment in accounts receivable. Bakit? Kasi pag kino-compute na, or pag ang tinatanong is investment in accounts receivable, ang gagawin natin is yung average AR na 300,000, i-multiply natin siya sa 60%, which is the variable cost ratio. So therefore, our investment in accounts receivable is $180,000. Okay, siguro tinatanong nyo, Sir, ano ba yung investment in AR? Ang context kasi, di ba, when we talk about businesses, di ba ang ginagawa nila, they buy first the inventory and then they sell that inventory at a higher price and then they wait for collection. So that is what we call the operating cycle. Binibili mo muna yung inventory and then you sell it at a higher price and then you wait for it before makolekta mo yung pera or before you can collect the receivable. Ang context kasi guys is, when we talk about receivables, ano ba yung gusto natin ma-achieve? Ang gusto natin ma-achieve guys is, at the very least man lang, yung ginastos natin sa inventory, mabawi natin. Gusto natin yung cost ng inventory na binili natin, at the very least man lang, mabawi natin siya. So that's why, ang ginagawa natin is, minon-multiply natin siya sa variable cost ratio. Kasi, what we are looking at is, di ba 300,000 yung AR? Technically, ito yung sales on account mo na hindi mo pa nako-collect. Ang gusto mo kasing i-analyze is, what is the corresponding cost? Ano ba yung corresponding cost ng $300,000 na to? So that is $180,000. So this is what we call the investment in accounts receivable. That is average accounts receivable times the variable cost ratio. So ang goal kasi natin dito is cost recovery. 'Di ba? Parang ang point, at the very least man lang, yung cost na ginastos mo sa inventory, at least mabawi mo. Or yung cost, or yung variable cost mo, mabawi mo man lang sana. So that is what we mean by investment in accounts receivable. Okay? So that is what we mean by investment in accounts receivable. That is average AR times the variable cost ratio. Okay? So ang gagawin natin guys is, we will try to look again at the problem. So we will look again at the problem. So yung problem kasi, how much is the increase or decrease in average accounts receivable if the new policy is implemented? So ang tip ko guys is, commonly, sa ganitong mga problems, ano yung mga given? Given yung current average collection period. So yung current is 45 days. So on the current policy, it takes them 45 days bago makolekta yung receivable. So what happens in the new policy? Since they are considering a new credit policy, they will reduce the average collection period to 30 days. So ang mangyayari, yung average collection period mo from 45 days currently, if we follow the proposed policy, it will be reduced to 30 days. So ano yung goal natin? Our goal is to determine the increase or decrease in AR if the new policy is implemented. Or, in other words, magkano ba yung difference ng AR sa new and old or sa proposed and old policy? So, yun ang plano natin i-compute. So, what will happen? Okay. So, ang gagawin natin guys is, I want you to look at the proposed. Same thought process lang siya. Ano lang yung nag-iba? Nag-iba lang yung day sales outstanding. Kasi nga, sa bagong policy, it's already 30 days. So what we will do is, 360 days divided by 30 days, which is the day sales outstanding on the proposed policy. Ano na yung AR turnover? The AR turnover is now 12. The AR turnover is now 12. So, ang point is, sa current 8, current policy 8 yung AR turnover. Pero sa propose, magiging 12 siya. So ang point is, makakaroon talaga siya ng effect sa average AR. Kasi, instead of dividing it to 8, magiging 12. So ano na yung average AR natin at the moment? So the average AR is 2,400,000 divided by 12. So ano na kasi, yung AR turnover is now 12. So ano na yung average AR sa new or sa proposed policy? The average AR is already 200,000. Okay? So therefore, magkano yung increase or decrease sa average accounts receivable? Average accounts receivable decreased by $100,000. Ibig sabihin nun, yung average AR mo bumaba kasi mas mabilis ka nang nakakakolekta ng loan or ng receivable because of the new policy. So yung average AR mo nabawasan. It decreased by 100,000. So ganun yung nangyari. So next, sige. Right now, we will look at how much will be the investment in accounts receivable if the average collection period is reduced to 30 days. So ang mangyayari dito, sa current, it's, di ba yung current yung kanina, 300,000 times 60%. So 300,000 times 60%, so that is 180,000. And then sa propose, ano na yung average AR sa propose? It's 200,000 times 60%. So that is $120,000. So this is the investment in AR in the proposed policy. Ibig sabihin, if we follow the proposal, the average AR will be $120,000. Okay. Ano yung nangyari sa investment in AR? Investment in AR decreased by $60,000. Investment in AR decreased by $30,000. What does this imply? Ang implication nito guys is, etong 60,000 na to, ito yung amount na free up mo because of the new credit policy. So kumbaga, ang nangyari dito, yung 60,000 na to, ito na yung free cash na pwede mo nang gamitin sa ibang bagay. This is the amount of cash that you can use in other purposes kasi nga nakolekta mo in advance or nakokolekta mo na siya ng earlier because of the proposed credit policy. So that's why investment in AR decreased by 60,000 ay $60,000. So ano pa yung possible shortcut? Ang possible shortcut dito is kung alam mo na kung magkano yung change in accounts receivable, so alam natin na yung accounts receivable, bumaba siya ng 100,000. So what you can do is yung $100,000, you multiply it by the 60%, which is the variable cost ratio. So when you do that, you will still arrive at $60,000. So you will still arrive at $60,000. Okay? So certain things that I want to clarify or certain expectations sa mga problems. Okay, ganito yan. In reality, sa mga problems, let's look at the proposed. Sa proposed, guys, ano yung possible na magbabago? Ang magbabago is number one, yung day sales outstanding or yung average collection period. For sure, it will really change. Regardless of any problem, magbabago talaga to in one way or another. In reality nga, ito nga yung rason kung bakit tayo may ganitong mga problems. Kasi we consider the day sales outstanding. So in most of the problems, magkakaroon ng change siya day sales outstanding. Okay. Another possible change is sa sales. Okay? Sa problem na to, hindi nagbago yung annual sales. It's presumed to be the same. Pero in most of the problems, eto din magbabago. Bakit? Kasi again, there are policies that will increase your sales. There are policies that will decrease your annual sales. May mga ganun talagang cases na kasi naging mas relax ka o yung sales mo sa new policy tumaas. Or because you became stricter or super strict ka na, yung annual sales mo bumaba. So may mga ganong cases. So commonly sa mga problems, yung common changes can apply on the day sales outstanding and on the annual sales in the new policy. Kasi we consider the increase or decrease in sales depending on the policy. Okay? So, ano na yung na-discuss natin? Na-discuss na natin na number 1, average AR and investment in accounts receivable are different things. If they are different terms. So, I gave you an idea on how to compute for the average AR and the investment in AR. Okay. The question is, so what? So what? Ang point is, di ba yung investment in AR, nabawasan siya by 60,000. Ibig sabihin, when we follow the proposed policy, may 60,000 na tayo na pwede nating gamitin for other things. So the next thing that I will discuss is, what if may ganito sa problem? Assuming the opportunity cost is 10%, what is the marginal cost in investment in accounts receivable? Ang context dito is, di ba may na-free up ka na $60,000? Assuming na yung 60,000 na yun, meron siyang opportunity cost. Let's say, pwede mo siyang gamitin for investments that will give you a 10% return. Pwede mo siya gamitin sa ibang bagay that will give you a 10% return. So, ang mangyayari daw, ano daw yung marginal cost in investment in accounts receivable? So, ang sagot dyan is 6,000. Okay? The answer here is 6,000. So, that is 6,000 investment in accounts receivable times 10%. So, the answer here is 6,000. 6,000. Ano yung, how do we interpret the 6,000? Yung 6,000 can be interpreted as decrease in cost or additional profit. Decrease in cost or additional profit. The point is, regardless if you interpret it as decrease in cost or increase in profit, the same lang naman yung effect. Okay? What's the point? Bakit ganun yung naging recommendation? Bakit naging increase siya in profitability? Why did it became increase in profits? Kasi possible interpretation here is na-free up mo na kasi yung 60,000. Na-free up mo siya kasi nga napaaga na yung collection. So yung 60,000 na to, pwede mo na siya gamitin sa ibang bagay that are profitable. You can use the $60,000 into things that are profitable. And when you use it for a 10% opportunity cost or a 10% investment, magkaka-earn ka pa ng additional 6,000 just because of the credit policy change. Okay? So take note, ito important thing. Pag ang tinatanong cost, remember this, pag cost in investment in AR ang tinatanong, multiply it by the percentage. Multiply it by the opportunity cost rate, multiply it by the interest rate on investments, multiply it by the rate of return, Basta the point is, pag cost ang tinatanong, multiply it by the percentage rate or the opportunity cost rate. Okay? So, ganun yung implication pag cost ang tinatanong. Okay? So, what did we learn today? So, na-discuss na natin ano yung relationship ng average AR, investment in AR, and cost or marginal cost in investment in AR. Okay? So I hope that you learned something today and thank you so much.